Welcome back everyone to the channel. In this video I have a amazing game played between two 500 rated players on chess.com, and I'm very excited to show you this game. It was just a great game played by these two 500 rated players, and I think there's some things that we can learn from this game, and also things that we can laugh about and enjoy together. Before we start, I want to show you this stat from the YouTube analytics. So it shows the watch time for like the whole time since I started the channel. So it shows here that almost 90% of y'all are not subscribed. So if you do enjoy the content, please consider subscribing. And also, if you do subscribe, make sure to turn on the bell notification so you don't forget, or you don't miss an update when we drop a new video. So if you do that, I'd be much appreciated. And also, if any of you guys ever want to send me your games you can send me that. You can send me games through my email, and I can just link my email down below in the description, so you can go check that out down there. And with that being said, let's get into the game. Alright, so our two protagonists, because no one's an antagonist in this video, we have Andy playing with white pieces, rated 520. Andy's protagonist is Crimbo, playing with the black pieces. And as always, I changed their names and their profile picture, so now Andy is a picture of a mountainside, and Crimbo is a picture of the Eiffel Tower. Alright, so my only thing before we start is buckle up. That's all I'm going to say. Here we go. D4, D5, C4. This is the Queen's Gambit. We have the Queen's Gambit declined. Queen's Gambit accepted on the board. We have E3, and now we have Knight to C6, Knight to F6, Knight C3, and E6, and Bishop takes C4. Now White has equalized the material. Okay. Bishop E4, pinning, and then we have Bishop to D2, unpinning and blocking the Knight, blocking the pin. We have Bishop takes on C3 and Bishop takes, and I usually say this in my videos whenever I want to go over one of these games. If you don't have a good reason for trading, usually a bishop is better than a knight, so you really shouldn't be trading a knight for a bishop. Actually, a bishop for a knight, you shouldn't be giving up your bishop for someone else's knight, unless you have a really good reason, because usually knights, most people know that in a position like this where it's more open, a bishop is valued more than a knight. In this position, I grant you it's better maybe to trade it so you can hop the knight in, which is what black does, goes to e4, but anyway. We have bishop to e5 check. This move doesn't really do anything because black can just block, and black does block, and now bishop back to d3, attacking the knight. Knight takes on c3. B takes c3, castles, and now knight to f3. White clearly wanting to castle. Now black can respond in a variety of ways. Black kind of blocked the light squared bishop, so maybe black can play something like, I don't know, b6 or knight d7, or queen over here, or queen here. Not there. Well, black might play that. Actually, black does play knight to d7, and we have castles from white. Okay, usually when both sides castle on the same side, it's going to lead to more of a less confrontational game, whereas if they castle on opposite sides, it usually leads to a more aggressive game. The reason for that is because they're castle on opposite sides, you can start pushing your queenside pawns towards the opponent, where if they castle on the same side, you don't really want to push these pawns, because then you'd just be weakening your king. This pawn is fine here, but you don't really want to be pushing these pawns because you're just going to be kind of weakening your king, and vice versa for black. Black doesn't really want to push those pawns. I mean, black is 500, so they don't really know. But yeah, really, at any level, you really should know that pushing pawns, unless you're trying to defend from something, you really shouldn't just be pushing pawns in front of the king, especially when it's castled. Okay, knight to f6, and now we have h3. So white is trying to control the black knight's entry into its position. We have knight to d5, and now we have queen to c2, b5, rook a b1, and the computer, as you can see, the computer really wants white to play this move, bishop takes on h7. It's a good move. b4, and now we have c takes b4, and queen to d6. So either that was this pawn move here. Either this was a sacrifice, which it wasn't, or black didn't know that white pawn could take it, which it didn't know that white could take it. So now we have queen to d6 and queen a4, e5, and now knight takes on d5 again. This sacrifice, which isn't really a sacrifice because it doesn't do anything. And yeah, black should have just played this because you're just winning material here. Like if you play queen here, you can take. I wouldn't. I would take, actually, yes, taking with the queen is better because then you threaten this pawn. Yeah, black could have done that and been up a rook for a knight. So instead, we have e5, d takes e5, queen e7. And the players just go back to what they were doing before, which was, I don't know what they were doing before. They're just shuffling around. f6, e4, queen takes b4, knight takes b4, and rook takes b4. So now white is up a full knight and a pawn. So white gets up 4 pieces of material on the 22nd move of the game. And folks, we have this game lasted 50 moves. So rook takes b4, and now we have bishop e6 and bishop c4. So forcing black to trade because you can't move the bishop because look who's behind it. You can't put yourself into check. So the black bishop has to trade. We have a trade on the board, and now we have f takes e5 and knight takes e5 and rook f e8. We have f4 trying to stabilize the knight, and now we have a5. This move does nothing. Yeah, the only explanation I have for this move is black let its younger sibling play the move, and they wanted to play a5 because they thought it did something, and that's the only idea, and that idea ends there. We have rook takes on c6 and a4. So a4 makes even less sense because now you can just go win that pawn. It's going to be very easy to win that pawn, and my idea for a4 is black let its other sibling come, and this other sibling knew even less than the other sibling who played a5, but no, actually, because white actually played a3. So maybe these people that are playing, Andy and Crimbo, maybe they're actually siblings. Maybe they're playing for each other. I don't know. I don't know what's happening here. Maybe they're in the same house and they're just going over to each other and playing. I have no idea. Okay, so we have a3, and now we have g5. g3, this is a good move because you cannot take because you'd be losing the knight, and so you reinforce. We have g takes f4 and g takes f4, rook a d8, rook f c1, and the computer here likes rook c7, king g7. Now we do have rook c7 check, king f6, but now the king gets in there, and it can be a little bit messy because now we have an extra attacker against certain pieces and whatever, but if I were white, I would probably, let me see, so it's black's move, so I would probably, you definitely don't want to trade, so yeah, black, sensing that they could not trade, they went, actually, no, a good move here is probably rook d4. Well, rook d4 wouldn't be that good because then you can go rook c4. Okay, so a good move for black would probably be, Let me see what would be good for black here. What is the engine like for black here? Let me see if I can find it. Okay, so it does want rook d4. Okay, so yeah, so black actually did see this move, rook d4, and played rook e6. So black did not see rook d4, and instead we have a trade, and now black is just losing. Fantastic. Very nicely played here. Rook c6 check, king e7, rook c7 check. Okay, this is not how you play. This is not how you play. This is not, I have to say it again, this is not how you play. You don't just give meaningless checks, unless that's fine, but you shouldn't play like this. I mean, black is, trying to do what they can, but oh boy, yes, you should really just be you should try and trade down, because then you're just winning. Obviously, you have a knight and 2 pawns for a rook. Well, actually, yeah, you're just up a knight and 2 pawns basically, so you shouldn't be doing this. Anyway, king e8, and now rook takes x7, rook d1 check, king f2, rook d2 check, and now black is going to try and just give checks. We have rook d4, and now king f3, and king to f8. What I would do, I would try to win that pawn on a4 and promote that thing. I mean, come on, dudes, promote that thing. f5, king g8, rook a7, there you go. Knight d7 check, king e8, knight back to f6 check. I don't know what we're doing here. King d8, h4, there you go, push that pawn. King e2, what are we doing? Okay, now they won the pawn. Rook a2 check. Oh boy, now they're going to get over there. They're going to get to the h-file. Oh, they don't get to the h-file. Yeah, and in this position, black resigned. So, I don't really know. I mean, I get it. Black was kind of lost, but yeah, black was lost. But I mean, they are still 3 spaces away from promoting. But I mean, yeah, if you would have gone like here, they could have just, no, they can't block. They could just push because they have 2 defenders, but you could stick around. And you could, let me see, so h7. What would be good here? Probably here. Yeah, that'd be good. I could go there, check, boom, and then you'd have to go like this: queen, take, push. Then you could get there, yeah, and then there's no way to stop that. Here, take, and you're just losing. So either way, you're just losing. Yeah, you're just losing here. So, yeah, so after rook e7, black resigns. So, what can we learn from this game? Let's go over it one more time, or maybe, yeah. Okay, so, relatively normal Queen's Gambit. Black playing some funky stuff here with the pawns. But, otherwise not too bad. This thing here, where it lost the bishop. Definitely some things you can learn here. But also white, not really playing this perfectly either. But yeah, I like how white, forced the trade, because black is not going to win down material. I mean, black wasn't going to win, period, basically. I mean, unless white gave away everything. Black really had no chance, so it's good that white traded down so that white would have even less of a chance. So yeah, that was the game. So lasted 51 moves, and Andy is your champion for this edition of the I don't even know what to call its playlist. Oops. I don't even know what to call this playlist. I'm not going to call it like, what Gotham Chess calls his. He calls it How to Lose the Chess. But if you guys have any ideas for titles for the playlist of games like this, please let me know. I'd love to hear your suggestions, because I can't think of a good one. I think right now it's called like Games Played or something. It's really kind of lame. But if you want to see the full playlist, I think I have like 3 or 4 games in the playlist so far, so you can check that out. And yeah, slowly racking up the videos in there. And also you can check out the AI chess playlist. I have a few games in there as well. Play between Stockfish and Leela and TSEC 27, and also I paired them in a couple games as well, so you can check those out. Other than that, you can click here to subscribe. Click here. YouTube suggests this video for my channel. They think this is the best suited one for you. And with that being said, yeah, I'm done yapping. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.